Hello, welcome to episode 5 of my investment journey. Just thought I'd spend a very, very quick time today to talk about my biggest position. Um, First off, I think the last time I did an update, this was sitting at 26,000 or thereabouts. So I'm currently almost 2,000 down. So I'd spend today talking about this particular investment because it takes off a massive chunk of my portfolio at the moment. And as a matter of fact, I think it's just about 80% of my money so far. But that's not because I've put 80% of my money in. But as you can see here, um, yeah, a lot of it is from the gains from it. I think there's about 53% gains on it at the moment. Um, so let me just talk about this company very quickly. And just before I start this, this video is for entertainment purposes only. It's just to share my opinion and what I'm doing. Please do not copy what I'm doing. I repeat, please do not copy what I'm doing. Um, my circumstance or where I am, allows me to sort of invest the way I would like to invest. It doesn't necessarily fit in with what other people do. Walk through why I've decided to do this or why I'm doing this particularly. Synairgen, let's just start with the company. Um, it's as it says here, as you can probably see on the screen, it's a drug discovery company, and it was founded by the three professors, Professor Stephen Allgate, Bernard Davis, and Ratko Jukanovic. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Um, They've been going for about 15 years now. They've focused on this respiratory diseases, mainly COPD and asthma. And what they've come up with is this formulation of interferon, which is a protein that you find in all living mammals or animals, and it helps. This essentially the science for this. You can probably just research it. I don't want to spend too much on actually talking about the science bit. Please do some research on it if you're interested. Um, so they've been working on this for the past 15 years, mainly in the capacity of asthma and COPD. And they've had different iterations of it and formulation of it. What it means is the current one is it's an inhaled version. It's an inhaled version of interferon. And what it means is that you can nebulize it and you could basically puff on it. And it's meant to help you recover from any sort of virus that you might be facing. So the first key is that it's a broad spectrum antiviral, which means any viruses, this should help mitigate that or help resolve it. That's the first part of it. The second reason why I'm interested in this is the fact that it's scalable. So in terms of production, you could actually scale it up and you can produce pretty much as much as you want of this. And the cost is not that. The first part, the science part, the production part. The third part is the use of it. It's very convenient. It's different from everything else that is being produced right now to treat this virus that we're all sort of fighting at the moment. You've got every other therapy that involves you actually being in the hospital settings and trying to, or like taking up space in the hospital, maybe via drip or anything else for the duration of the treatment. The difference with this is that it can actually be sent to you and you could have it in the comfort of your own home, and it can be self-administered. So it brings a lot of value to different health organizations around the world. So now touching on all those three key things that sort of drew me to this particularly. Now I'm just going to very quickly move on to some of the technical bits of it. So like in terms of finance, this company in 2020 did two placings, and the altogether raised a chunk of that at the placing price of £1.77. So half of the money is meant to go towards manufacturing this treatment, the treatment, and the other half is meant to be spent on the trial. So for a company that is worth 341 million, they've currently got 4 trials going concurrently, which is quite a lot. So they're trying to do 4 different trials at the same time. The first trial right now is fully subscribed, so it's the home trial. The idea of it is to see how effective it can be, to have this sent to people at home and they can self-administer it and see what the efficacy is. Um, so the result for that should probably be coming in the next, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 months. The second trial is for the long COVID. So the belief is that even for people that have sort of recovered from this disease, you still carry it hampers your day-to-day way of life in the long term, as in you still suffer from some breathing issues and some issues here and there. So the idea is to see if this could help resolve that issue and see how this does against it. So that's the second one. The third one is the biggest one, which is the P3. They're doing it in 20 different countries at the moment, and when you're doing a trial at that scale, I think it's about 600 and over 600 participants in the trial, and it's been done in 20 different countries, and I think it's been spread out that way, so different organizations and different countries can sort of monitor the data as they come in and hopefully get approval from pretty much all 20 countries or countries all over the world. So they go in for a global scale of approval here, so they can sell this on a global scale. And then the fourth one is in the US, which is an active two trial. If you don't know what an active two trial means, you might just give that a search. What it means is that it's been selected as a very select. It's part of a select few of therapeutics right now that the US government are choosing to fund. So they put in tens of millions into this to help fund the trial for this. It's a phase 2, which will roll into a phase 3, and then if it goes well, it gets an FDA approval, and then here we go, money, money, money. So as it stands, the idea is for them to produce 100,000 of this treatment a month. So about 1.2 million a year. And I feel like if this goes well, easily that will get sold. But I'll come back to that in a bit. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is sort of the risk and the reward for this. Actually, before I talk about that, I'll talk about my plans for this. As it stands, 12,000 of my money is gone into this, and the idea is to add a bit more into it. So if this drops anywhere below £1.60, I'll be looking to add up to £3,000 more into this. I think I've currently got about 2,000 in reserves, cash, and I could probably just put some more money into this, deposit some more money in. So if it drops below 160, I'll be looking to get more shares into this. If it doesn't, then I'll probably just sit on what I've currently got. The idea is I'm going with this until this company gets bought out, or the other way around. Either way, I'm in it, and I'm in it for the long run. My thesis is if this goes well, this company will be bought out before the end of the year. And I see myself getting at least a 10x of the money that I've put in. That's the top side of it, at least 10x of it. There is no way a company this size is going to get that much success without a bigger pharmaceutical coming in and buying them out. So right now, the average market cap, I think, it's about 220 or 230 for my average. This will be sold for billions. I think this company will be sold for billions if everything goes according to plan. Because the therapeutic right now, I think it's about, if I just get a calculator up, I think if you do the 1.2 million treatments, I think it should be about £2,000 per treatment. That's 2.4 billion in revenue. Not 2.4 billion. Yeah, that's 2.4 billion in revenue for a company the size of market cap of 341. So I expect this to be a lot higher if things go well. Now I'm going to talk about the risks with this. If it fails, for whatever reason it fails, I expect this price to plummet, possibly to about a 50p range, because they've still got a lot of money, they've still got a lot of cash. I think they should, in my estimate, they should still have, after this trial, they should still have about 40 million left in cash. So getting the data back, even if it fails, there's still value in the data that they get back, because this is a worldwide trial in 20 different countries. And as such, it holds a bit of a value, and it will just be a case of going back to the drawing board, maybe focus on the COPD part for next year. So I'd expect, if I'm able to average up to 15,000 of my money in this, I would expect at least 70% of it to be gone if this fails. So I would expect a loss of at least 8,000, 9,000 pounds out of the 15 grand. I would say 9,000 pounds out of the 15,000. So what I'm saying is the downside is 9,000 pounds, and the upside is hundreds of thousands of pounds. And for me, in my personal state, if you listen to my first sort of video that I put out, sort of try to explain where I am right now. I'm very comfortable. I earn monthly. If I do lose this, it will be a kick in the teeth. Let's face it, not going to be happy about it whatsoever. It's going to be painful, actually. But it will just be a case of I'm going back to the drawing board and just focus on my other, just try to get money back in as quickly as I can and just carry on. But I feel like if this goes well, it will be life-changing for me. It's not really, this is not really gambling, I don't think, because the science, I'm very sure, and the science and everything points to the fact that this will most likely pass, but also I can't just rely on that and not weigh up the risk. The science and everything points to this will work. It's been worked on for 15 years. It's the P2 trial has been peer-reviewed, and it's been given validity by scientists and people that are a lot more knowledgeable than I am. I'm choosing to take on a risk of seeing a massive upside potential, but also I need to acknowledge that there's a massive risk to it as well. If I lose £9,000, it will not be the end of the world for me. It will just be a case of just get back to the drawing board, basically, and hopefully in the next 5 years, they can resolve it or get something in and possibly regain that £9,000 back in the next 5 years, because I am going long in this company. So if they do well, at no point will I be selling until they get taken over, or at least the next 5 years. But they will be taken over before 5 years if they succeed. And if they fail, the money is going to stay for the next 5 years. And hopefully they will crack it in 5 years' time, and I'll get the money back. Either way, that's the short of it. This is my investment thesis in this. And as I've mentioned earlier, please do your research and do not take on more risks than you can afford.